Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy 2/4. I'm the Serious JG. It's Final Fantasy. It's not Final Fantasy 2-4 because that's going to be like Final Fantasy 2 the after years. Final Fantasy 2-4 Lightning Returns. Anyway, all right. So I did do some leveling up off screen. I just checked. I think Rydia learns her final spell at level 60. Rosa learns her last spell at 55, and in fact, she learns her second to last spell at 45. So there's only one spell left that she doesn't know, and that's... Be curious to see how they translate it in this game. It was called White back in the day. According to the wiki, it's because of censorship. It was called Holy in the Japanese version. If they changed it from Holy to White because they thought it would be offensive to Christians, that's kind of lame, I guess. But I don't know that a bunch of Christians told them they had to do that. I think they might have just, figured it on their own. Don't know. Whatever. Alright, so yeah, leveled up some off screen and fighting in this area. And I looked it up. There's a less than 1% chance that each time you defeat the Bog Witch, which is the... I think we saw one on screen, the witch lady who has frogs in the party with her. And the frogs, all they do is cast the frog spell. And they don't actually act on their own. Every time the bog lady has a turn, bog witch has a turn, she says ribbit, and all the frogs cast the frog spell once. And it's kind of impossible to lose those battles, but they can be incredibly annoying. But every time you fight one of those, there's a 1 in 100 chance that a ribbon will be dropped. Slightly less than 1 in 100, and we got one. We got one ribbon for me fighting for maybe 2 hours or so and change, just watching. Probably between 2 and 3 hours, I would say. I was grinding for levels while just watching YouTube, and yeah, we got one ribbon, and that's kind of more than I was expecting to get. I figured as long as I was grinding for EXP, I might as well do it at some place where we get a good item drop. And I kind of figured, hey, you know what? If I get 2, I'll be pretty happy because I'll just give the other one to Rydia. Although honestly, even that, I was like, I gave the one I've got to Rosa because she has Asuna. Now, Cecil also has Asuna. And honestly, Cecil's got like half the MP of Rosa, but he's got more MP than I kind of remembered him having. Like, Rosa and Rydia are pretty comparable for MPs. I am assuming that if Rydia was the same level as Rosa, she might have slightly more MPs. I also became aware we had a few of these drop. They didn't drop in massive numbers, but we've got items that give you permanent increases. Maximum MP increase. An alarm that calls monsters. I think there's a special purpose of this that you could use for certain. So actually, yeah, we just got 2. We've got 2 silver apples, which I think are a rare drop, although I might have just found them in treasure chests. Soma drop is something that I want to say dropped when we fought Marlboros. And I want to say I fought some on screen, but I honestly don't remember that either. I dimly recalled fighting something called Mad Oscar in this game. And I can't be bothered to look it up. Maybe that's what it was called in Final Fantasy VI. Or it could be that the Pixel Remaster has changed it to Marlboro, which is the more common name for them now. But they definitely, they're nasty, and they use Bad Breath Attack, which puts all the status ailments on you. So they work just like they work in, excuse me, more recent games. I had this vague memory of them not working that way, but it might be because... I think this is the only place they appear, this dungeon, and I probably just ran away from them in this dungeon, because I either fought some and found out that they were a pain in the butt, or I just didn't fight them at all and ran away. Or maybe my party was strong enough to kill them before they got off a turn, but I kind of doubt that. Anyway, since we're here, let's just go ahead and explore this cave. The Sylvan Cave, which I believe was called the Sylph Cave back in the day. I am curious... I know stepping on this... There's this cave and maybe one other cave, which is also in the underworld, where... Because damage-dealing floor tiles hasn't been a thing in this game, has it? So 22998 for Cecil. 2948. So you're losing like 50 per step. So my big question was, do these floors poison you? Because I kind of thought maybe they did. They're like green and weird, but bestiary. What the hell does a bestiary do? Whatever it is, we seem to already have one. Unless it's a key item. Huh. You don't suppose... Well, it'll show up here even if it is. I would say you don't suppose it's equipment, do you? But if it is, it'll show up here. I say, and then it just doesn't show up at all. I'm not seeing a bestiary. Oh, there it is. Alright. It cast scan. Angel arrow. Evil dreamers are kind of boring. They're just... They can cast sleep. There's nothing else about them that's remotely special. So, I don't remember if we fought them off screen or not, but no, they can cast a low-level fire spell. They absorb fire rather than taking damage. And there's nothing else about them that's interesting. It does look like float stays applied for longer than it does in, like, say, Lufia 2. 3 of these guys. Nope. I've been fighting groups of 2. I'm not going to deal with a group of 3. I probably should fight them on screen, just in case I didn't fight them off screen before. Oh, float is still applied. That's a nice, generous casting. Alright, well, let's just showcase how this fight goes. There's a certain amount of luck involved, too, because they can keep casting Toad on the same person and changing them back and forth from a Toad repeatedly. I like that our Toads can use a bow and arrow, it just isn't very effective. Toads can't jump, which seems odd. And once that Bog Lady is gone, they just don't do anything. And weirdly, if you kill the frogs first, the Bog Lady casts frog on herself, turns into a frog, and then starts casting frog on your party every turn. So it is a weird little battle. Might as well start dealing with our Toad status now. Asuna always works. Toad can miss, but costs less MP. So, yeah. Just throwing that out there, not making value judgments one way or another. And of course, we got Maiden's Kisses coming out the wazoo now. Yeah, Float has a nice long casting time here. This party is also annoying. The Mammons, the trees in the back row, can cast Berserk, which is a little bit of a nuisance. This is just a different combination of the same enemies. If I fight 2 Marlboros again, maybe I'll take them on, just in case you guys didn't get to see them on screen. I don't remember for... Wouldn't bet my life that I dealt with them on screen. I think I did. But these groups, yeah, I've been fighting them over and over off screen, so I hope everyone is okay with me not dealing with them on screen. I feel like Alright, let's go ahead and fight these guys here. Although, actually... Okay, oh, Bad Breath missed, that's really nice. Because the thing is, yeah, normally I can never count on Bad Breath missing twice, and I've been fighting groups of 2 Marlboros. The Quake spell, which is sort of the same as the Titan summons, it does seem to be weak against that. And I've noticed that, yeah, the Quake spell seems to work against those floating ghosts, so it doesn't quite seem to work the way that it does in other games where... Like, there's some games, I feel like there's some Final Fantasy games where Quake is automatic death, but anything that's flying is completely immune. Alright, let's try to kill these guys off en masse. This is just going to be kind of a slow, boring battle. But there's some kind of treasure to be gotten out of it, because usually you get an odd, like 100% drop of some kind of loot from these monsters treasure chests. Yeah, Edge's ninja magic just is not that impressive. I mean, I can't summon... Prayer unanswered. I can't summon healing from the gods. Or, giant rivulets of water, or whatever happened there, but... No, it's kind of like we've got... That's the thing about Edge. He's kind of okay at a few things. Like, we've got a better Black Mage. We've got better melee attackers. Evade doesn't seem to do a whole hell of a lot in this game. He's just not that great. Maybe Blitz is more impressive than Flood. Actually, it worked pretty good there, actually. Rather, I didn't even notice how much it did, just that everybody was almost dead anyway, so... It was kind of fine in the moment. Red Fang. I'm gonna hope Red Fang is a weapon or something? Angel Arrow. Causes confusion, is effective against giant enemies. Oh, that's... Yeah, okay, and that another thing is that... Yeah, so this is a dungeon where some of the enemies had rare drops that were pretty damn good, and now I'm looking around for Red Fang. Is it just a, is it just a fancy usable item like Rage of the Gods type of stuff? Yes, it is. Deals fire damage. Okay, so that's not really that exciting. But, we've got Yoichi arrows, which may be the best arrow in the game, and I've got them equipped on both of our mages who... okay, here we go. And that's what we're about here now, huh? Ah, shit, she just cast, Well, it's funny, in this game, his corpse will not be a frog corpse anymore. But he's still dead. And his corpse is still floating, so that's nice. So Quake is probably not going to just one-hit kill these guys, but at least I'm pretty badly hurt. We really don't... Ah, fuck! We did not want Berserk cast on her. But we've... Yeah, they usually do Marlboros seem to have a pretty set pattern. It's usually going to be Bad Breath on their first turn, physical attack on the second turn, digestive juice, which I haven't exactly figured out what that does. It does appear to put a like slow HP sap effect on the target, but otherwise I'm not 100% sure how it works. But they're not going to start throwing Bad Breath out again until they get like a fourth turn, which is nice. And that is a Moonring Blade. Which is a fancy-ass boomerang. Why not? Why not go with the Moonring Blade? Other than the character who got killed, we did okay in that fight. Let's go ahead and quick save, even though that would not be available to us if we were playing this game for reals. I'm going to assume all of these have monsters now. Actually, is Quake just the fastest way to do this? Maybe Quake is just the fastest way to do this. Quake is one of the most expensive spells we have access to right now. Iridia will eventually get Meteo, which is 99 MP, so that's kind of a lot. Yeah, that did more than Flood. Yeah, Quake is costly, but it seems like it's worth it. White Fang, which I'm going to assume is just some throwable item type of shit. Oh boy, this is ugly. How many remedies have we got? Because you can buy remedies. I thought I could. Maybe you can, and I've never bought them? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I bought them. Quake's damage, since it's always a hits all type spell, I'm pretty sure it is not impacted by see, he can use Asuna as a frog, which is interesting, but I'm pretty sure Quake's damage is not reduced by having multiple targets, which is nice. But man, we are burning through the MPs here. Almost had him use Ninja Magic, but I figured he could fairly reliably finish one off. Let's just have this last one get meleeed. Yeah, Quake is a godsend, because I was having a real hard time dealing damage to kill them before they could get off a fourth turn, and really fuck shit up with another round of, and they're the ones who drop huge arrows. Get up a whole other round. Avenger! Atoll! The Avenger! Alright, so Avenger turns out not to be Wapitiers. It is a sword. It causes the Berserk ailment. Decreases magic defense a little bit. But yeah, let's go for it. Oh! I missed that. Oh. Two-handed sword. And the Ogre Killer is an axe. I was about to say, I missed that the Ogre Killer was making us not have a shield because it's an axe. And therefore requires two hands. And then I was like, oh, wait, no. The Avenger requires two. Never mind, that's not even remotely probably worth our, worthwhile right now. Again, quick saving, making the game a little bit, it's a little more chill. Probably back in the day I would have done multiple trips here to I probably wouldn't have been such a wuss that I fought one enemy and then retreated and came down and fought another enemy and retreated. But I can definitely see myself back in the day making multiple trips to clear all these treasure chests. But I thought I remembered Osmos working a lot. Well, I remember Osmos working really well in Final Fantasy III, which is now called Final Fantasy VI, or Revenge of the Sith. No, 6 would have been Jedi. 6 always was. Wait. Anyway, but I do think maybe my I probably wasn't using Osmos much in this game, and I probably didn't remember having tried to use it and it sucking. I think that's what actually happened. Because it's kind of terrible. We were getting a little bit of luck with it. Aha! We're floating! I'm almost positive they upped the length of time float lasts. But I will accept that it's possible that it always lasted this long. And I'm thinking more of Lufia, Rise of the Sinistrals, than I am. It's not even Lufia, actually. Rise of the Sinistrals. Lufia 2. It'd be Lufia and the Fortress of Doom is the game where the float spell's just not... It's just like, oh, you want to take like 3 steps? Well, guess what? You're taking damage from the floor again, asshole. And actually, Lufia in particular was like, it really just kind of confounded and annoyed because it would last as long as you were walking over damage tiles. Like if you cast the float spell and step on a damage tile, you don't take damage. And you could walk around on those damage tiles all day long, but as soon as you step off for 1 second, it immediately stops working. So if there's like a little break, and there's like 8 damage tiles, and then there's 1 non-damage tiles, and then another 8 damage tiles, you gotta cast float twice. And that's why you tune into this Let's Play of Final Fantasy IV, folks. To hear me keep calling it Final Fantasy II, and to complain about the mechanics of Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. Not that many other Final Fantasy II Let's Plays where you're gonna get that. I'm glad I can provide a service no one else does. Thanks for throwing down another quick... Ah, you know, I should throw down an actual, real... Honest to God, the game accepts these saves, and it's not some kind of cheating to do them save out here. Then we'll bust out some of that float action. I likes to float them. Let's kill the frogs first so you can see how that works. Yeah. And now she just acts like one of those toads, except no one has to tell her to attack. Isn't that fascinating? No ribbon dropped. Trying to figure out the best way to isolate all these different paths. Because we did not go... There is a specific thing you're supposed to get, and as you might have guessed, I'm trying to get to that building that's clearly... floating around over there. A Maiden's Kiss. A Fairy Rod. Did we already have a Fairy Rod? Oh, she doesn't use rods, she uses staffs. We did not already have a Fairy Rod. He cast Confuse. I don't think Confuse ever works in this game. So let's save ourselves the trouble. If I lost a ribbon by running from that battle, then... Tenbatsunari, folks. That's heaven's punishment for my crimes. Beautiful evil dreamer, beautiful evil dream. Okay, let's hustle on over this way. I think we defeated Mammons on screen during one of those battles I couldn't run from. I'm trying to explore this cave as efficiently as possible. It is an entirely optional dungeon. It's kind of neat that it even exists. This was before optional dungeons got to be a really big thing in games, I think. Although somebody who likes Western RPGs is probably going to tell me, oh, that's like American RPGs. PC RPGs are doing this all the time. Freaking console loser. Yeah, I am a contrarian by nature. Like, back in the day, I used to have a job, decades ago at this point, I think, where I was hanging around in an office all day with very little to do, and I would just be hanging around on forums and shit, back when that was a thing. And, like, I would be on one forum arguing, there's Soma drop, that's pretty good, arguing with the dorks who thought that, like, if, you know, a Japanese artist sneezed, it was better than anything Walt Disney had ever produced. And, like, I would get annoyed at those guys, and then I would be on some other board where, like, they wouldn't give something a chance at all if it happened to be from Japan, and that bothered me too. I couldn't be happy. Monsters! I was hoping they would stay away. Ribbit. Ribbit. Checking situation. Let's just go into crazy overload here. Never mind. I guess they're not going to allow that to happen. They sensed that she was going to overkill them as a group and took her out. Let's be smart about this. Let's just kill and hope that our... Did it take the MP away, I wonder? I didn't notice how many MP she had before she tried to cast the spell. I guess I'll know in a minute, because once I go back into her magic menu... Looks like she did not lose MP for that, so that's nice. You know what? Frog, heal thyself. There we go. Give yourself a maiden kiss. That's not what happened, but I guess that... So Rosa... I don't know. I shouldn't say whether or not Rosa is a maiden. She appears to be engaged to Cecil. Maybe she's saving herself for marriage. Rydia clearly supposed to be a maiden. She was a little girl, then time advanced for her at a weird rate. We don't know exactly what happened to her on a minute-by-minute basis since she left the party, but I think it's fairly safe to assume she's a maiden. Oh, damn it! I didn't even... I'll check the video, and I'll have to check the video and see. I was too busy, like, talking about whether our female characters have been knocking boots to pay attention. But what I'm getting at is that Rosa, possibly, and Rydia certainly, if ever change into frogs, and then instead of using magic to change themselves back, gave themselves a maiden kiss, then that would work. It would mean they took a little frog hand and, you know, sort of practiced making out with their own hand, and they're maidens, and obviously that would cure the frog status. When we come back next time, there will be more idiocy. Thanks for watching.